It Happened on the Job, the podcast for relatable conversations with contractors. Sponsored by Goodman Insurance.
Welcome to It Happened on the Job. My name is Mike. That's Brian.
Yo.
Episode 88 today. Our guest is Terry Morrill, GM and founder of Pacific Outdoor Living. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Thanks
Good
for
to be here with you guys.
Well, thanks for making the drive. I heard it was a bit of a trek down here, so we appreciate you coming in.
Okay.
Kind of how we get a lot of these started is we want to hear about you. Give us a little history, how you got started in this industry and that journey to where you are now at Pacific Outdoor Living.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a little background.
Yep.
So, well, I've been in contracting all my life. I got a degree in structural engineering at Cabo San Lucas, Obispo. So,
That seems to be a pretty popular school in our show.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Most people that are contractors that go to school, at least on the show, have been at
the ones that actually go to school.
Yeah. Well, hey, not that it helped me a lot. I don't know if I ever used my degree, but just, some of the the structural sense and stuff.
Yeah.
So did a lot of apartment renovation and different things, and then market crashed. Had a rough time. Had 13 different jobs for a period of time from 1990 to about 90 to 95.
So you had one of those 7-page resumes.
Yeah, but actually, I don't even have a resume. So during that time, though, I sold insurance like you guys.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I hated it.
Well, did you do personal line stuff though?
No, I think I was selling annuities.
Same thing. Yeah.
Anyhow, to nurses.
Yeah.
So sold copper pipe. Ran a bicycle shop, a bicycle factory, a door factory, a bunch of stuff. So then I was, just thinking of getting back into contracting. And before that, I renovated apartment buildings. So we had tons of, a lot of apartment buildings that we'd fix up, my wife and myself, 60, 70 unit buildings. And then kind of during the crash from 90 to 95, we lost everything. I think I bought a building for $4.2 million in 91. Then we had the earthquake, and we had, mass exodus out of Southern California. We actually had a negative migration during that period. It seems impossible, but that's what happened.
I think we're getting at that point now, right?
We
now,
could,
too.
yeah.
Getting there.
Enough people could be leaving.
Yeah.
So we had a 40% vacancy, and FEMA was giving apartments away for free. Basically, they had a sign on buses that said, "Kiss your landlord goodbye," because they would give, if it was damaged at all or even red tag or yellow tagged in the earthquake, basically you'd end up getting 6 months for free. So we had about a 40% vacancy. Tried to negotiate a better loan with the bank. Ended up, we had about 250 units or so and lost them all. All went back to the bank. The building that I bought for 4.2, the bank then sold in a matter of 6 months for 1.8.
Oh,
jeez.
But they wouldn't negotiate with us.
Yeah.
They wouldn't cut in anyhow. So for a while there, I was kind of like out of construction. I wasn't really too interested in getting back into construction at all. But we did a trip down to Mexico, and I started a construction business in Cabo San Lucas. So advanced building systems. So we were building foam buildings in Cabo San Lucas. And then I kind of got pushed out by a Mexicality famosa that made this stuff. So that kind of ended up a bust. I was in Mexico for 3 years with my kids, my 2 boys. We bought
you were living in Cabo at that time?
I was living in Cabo. I bought a 3-unit, actually had 6 units, 3 bungalows, and they just started building 11 construction units, 11 apartments. And my oldest son, Trent, was 20 at the time. So, and I was trying to dig myself out up in the States with other deals. And I left him there with a crew of, 5 local Hispanic builders. He didn't speak any Spanish, and I said, "It's up to you.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Get these things built." So he actually did it. I only came down every 3 months to see how they were going. So he surfed and kind of instructed and worked with the crews, and they got the place built.
Not a bad deal.
And it was called Las Palapas, and then we turned it into a bed and breakfast and sold it, left there. It was just way too slow. In the middle of the day, you try to get something done. You go to a hardware store and they're literally closed from 1 to 3.
Siesta
time.
Yeah.
And you go, geez. I just need a bolt or whatever it is. So that's when I came back. And then eventually I got back into construction, got back into, as a general contractor, remodeling a $1 million property in La Cañada. I had 37 subcontractors, and one of them was a paving zone contractor. And that was in 99. And I really hadn't heard about paving zones all that much in 99. So he said, "You want to buy my business?" So... "Oh, well, let's take a look at it." So anyhow, this guy was a bit of a wild man. The company was called Pave Your Way. And basically we kind of made an agreement, had a 3-month turnover period where I was going to buy this business, and he had 4 men working for him, a beat up 76 Chevy dump truck. And my son, the same one that I left in Cabo, he came back, and so we together said, "Let's start this business." And I had a third son that was actually working on some renovations, and he came in a little later. Actually, a second son. I can't keep track. You'd think I'd know how many sons I have,
Things happen.
That's right. Things happen. All of a sudden, you have 3 sons. So, okay. So, 99, we take over basically this guy's business. And I have 3 months to turn it over. And as I said, he was a bit of a character. I can remember being at a job with him and learning the trade of what it is and how he estimates. And he goes, "Oh my God, I got to be in 10 minutes. I forgot I have an appointment." So, we jump in his car, which is a Mercedes diesel, old beat up Mercedes diesel, race across town, get up to the house where he's at. And he goes, "Oh, where's my shirt?" And he's a redneck, big, t-shirt, red arms, big belly like this. And he goes, "God, okay." He gets out of the car, walks up to the people and says, Hey, hi, my name's Colin. I lost my shirt on that other job that I was on. I hope I do better on this one." So anyhow, that's who the guy was that we bought the business from. And basically 2 months into the 3-month transition, he says, I changed my mind. I'm not going to sell you the business. Oh. So at this point, my son and I are pretty much working, full time and figuring it out and figuring what to do and how to market it. And I said, "Hey, we got a contract. Sorry, and we actually upgraded, bought an international dump truck, bought a Bobcat, to do the demolition.
Right.
And I was, starting to learn what it was. And I mean, he would give his estimates on the back of a business card, and he didn't have a tape measure. He just
walked it off. Yeah.
He'd walk it off and, write it down and go, "That's your price." And he'd say, "No matter what, number 1 rule, keep everything a secret. Don't put any money in the bank. Don't pay any federal fees, no workers' comp."
Oh, man.
There's no way that you can run a paving zone business and be
doing it the right,
doing it the right way. And I said, "Hey, I'll do it the right way." And from the beginning, we've done that, But anyhow, he had all kinds of tricks of how to do it and what to do. So from there, what happened?
Went to jail?
No. We ended up making a deal. He said, I'm going to go in a competition with you. I'm going to keep the name. So I said, okay. I ended up getting the crew and getting the
assets and everything.
A little bit of equipment for $8,000. And then we got the name Pacific Paving Zone first. So that's what we were, Pacific Paving Zone. I hope this isn't too long.
No, you're good, man.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now we're Pacific Paving Zone. So I got my son, 4 guys on the crew. That's it, So I just start putting out 15,000 postcards every week,
Just like the mailers or whatever? Or?
Yeah, postcard mailer, free estimate.
Yeah.
And I was the only sales guy, so we'd just mail out 15,000, and calls would come in, and then pretty soon I'm getting busy, and then, we're starting to build up, and we don't have a yard or anything. I'm working out of my garage. We got a dump truck and a Bobcat that are parked,
and loads of paving stones.
and in front of my 2 boys, have an apartment building. That's a whole other story how we got that. But anyhow, on Albert Street in North Hollywood. So they would leave the Bobcat and the dump truck parked on the lawn and all the debris and stuff. And in the morning, all the Latino guys, pretty soon they would know, hey, that's a place to get a job. So they'd show up and we started hiring more guys. And pretty soon we had 2 crews and we took each of the 4 guys, which actually all came from one family, the Rioses. So the initial guys. So then the sons, they all said, hey, dude, you're a crew chief now. You're running it. Me? Yeah. Take Jose and you're on your own. So we just started splitting up crews.
Yeah.
And I can remember one point where I said to my son, you need to produce about $30,000 a week because we're up to producing because I'm selling that. He goes, 30,000? Yeah. I mean, and at that time, a crew would do about 10, so we need 3 crews, and that's where you need to go. So he said, oh, forget it, I quit. So he ended up taking a couple of weeks off and thinking about things, and then he came back, and then we just went on a rocket ride. So we ended up renting a yard space in Burbank, at Riverside Lumber, a place in the back that they had, kept getting, and I just kept selling. I was doing 15,000 postcards week after week after week. And it was an interesting point then. So we were making about 5%. That's how much money I was making, 5% net profit. And I'm doing all the sales, I'm doing all the bookkeeping, I'm handling all this. My son, thank God, is running the crews, but I got to hire a salesperson. So, okay, it's going to cost me 5%.
Yeah.
So if I pay the guy 5%, am I making 5% net? It's all gone.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I gotta have some value as the general manager of this, growing company. So, I took the plunge. I hired the guy. 6 months later, we were making 8 to 10% and paying him 5%. Just because we started putting in systems, we started saving here and saving there, and building an organization. So then at that point, we rented my other son, not my third one.
The second one.
I don't have one. My second one came aboard, and, we looked at Aquascapes as a national pond manufacturer of equipment.
Yep.
And we said, let's get in the pond business. So he basically started selling ponds. And we would use some of our customers, our paving stone customers, and, say, hey, you need a pond over there. So that was California Waterscape. So he kind of started that in 2001. we got a storefront for the ponds. We had we moved out of my garage into an 800 square foot house, and at one point we had a room with 14 guys in it. And we're going, wow. So I was lucky enough to find an acre and a half in Sun Valley, industrial property that we ended up buying. And then we once we closed on that, I think in 2002, it was just a yard, no building there. But we put up a tent and we got these, the big containers, seagoing containers. Yep. So we had 3 of them, one for, hey, this is a better office than we had before. And we had materials, building materials in it and whatever, and mechanic in it and tents out there. And then, so we operated, and of course we could have now all the trucks, which we started accumulating, trucks and extra pavers and stuff like that. So, we just, kept going. And luckily enough, that with my sons to handle the delivery end, I could give some thought to the business aspect of.
Work on the business rather than in the business.
Right. Yeah. And how things went. And so that's where at one point, we developed our own estimating system. And we developed our whole own project management system and developed our own internal software that we use. And with a pretty unique way of doing business that it's different than most anybody who will watch this podcast operates as a business. But we'll save that for another time.
I was going to say, right?
or whatever. Yeah. I'll get back on the journey, and so then we ended up actually building our building there. We built 13,000 square feet, on this property. So some for office, some for rental, and we kept the mechanics yard. So I ended up getting Angeles Pavers, who we buy our pavers for, had a bunch of split face block that, was an extra order anyhow. I purchased it to build the building. I purchased it a year ahead of time. But, I got it such a great deal for it. And we ended up building the building and creating that. And then along comes the
2008.
Drop. 2008. Yeah. So let's drink to that.
Yeah, I remember that year.
Yeah, that was not a good one.
No.
So 2008. So we went from we were doing about 17 million a year in 2007.
Just in LA area?
Just in LA. LA and Orange County a bit. So that's
a lot of freaking pavers.
That was from 99 to 2007. Paver. We did about 3 million in ponds, which was a lot of ponds. And we did about 1 million in wholesale or so, and then we had another 12, 13 million in pavers.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I believe it. We bought our house in 2005, my wife and I, and everybody, and we live out here in South Orange County, but everybody, we're in a new area, we're putting in pavers in their side yards, their backyards. I mean, it was the thing.
It was the thing then. Yeah. Absolutely. So we were, at the time, Pacific Paving Zone, Genesis Stoneworks, and Systems. We were the big 3. So the big 3,
in that outdoor space,
not outdoor, just pavers.
Yeah.
Basically, we all just did pavers. We say, hey, it's green, and we don't want anything to do with it. You got to water it. It was in and out pavers, and then all of a sudden our business shrunk. Then we go, what do we do? Do we go to a larger space? Do we go to Ventura and San Diego, or do we offer other stuff?
In that moment, were you thinking that the business was shrinking because of where the market was going, or was it more because you thought maybe you had saturated?
The phone wasn't ringing.
Yeah.
We continued to market, and our marketing dollars, we had to spend more and more marketing dollars to get the
a customer.
Yeah. And then even at that, I exceeded in somewhere around here, we stopped doing the direct mail or most marketing, went to
online,
the internet website. But we would do during that growth period, I'd try a new marketing thing, every few weeks. Hey, let's go to farmers markets. Let's make a trailer with a pond on it that's actually running when you drive down the freeway, and park it at the farmers markets. We did that. We rented sides of big panel trucks and put Pacific Outdoor Living. I parked the truck on the freeway. I bought a truck with a big, we put a big sign on the side of the truck just to park on freeways so people can see it. Until we got so many tickets and we got it
it became a negative.
And then at some point we just, hey, those are my tickets for my marketing dollars.
Yeah.
How many? And then we got threatened that we go, okay, hey, it's still paying for itself. I'm still paying the tickets. I'm getting enough leads. Then we do sign campaigns and, all kinds of stuff to grow the business. And the Pasadena Showcase House of Design. Right. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but anyhow, it's a big house that they renovate every year. And typically there's about 40, 50 contractors that either take an interior space or an exterior space. So this year, although it didn't open, but we built a pool there, was our 21st year that we were.
You guys have worked there. That's awesome.
And that was a great revenue for us. We would get a lot of.
Did they let you do they let you set up and talk to people while they're there as they're coming in and out?
Well, they don't let you set up anything, and you have to be really passive. So, but we were pretty aggressive, and we would collect names. In the first year, I got over 1,000 names.
Wow.
And so then we would call those people and say, hey, and then set appointments.
How were you getting those names?
People walking in
when they walked outside, or
so we were
drop a business card in? Or?
No, we were the first. So there's 40 different contractors or designers that go through the showcase, go through the room, and we were basically, one of them. And I said, let's staff it. I just spent all this money building this place that you do for free.
Yeah.
And a person goes through with the program, and typically they look up in the program. I say, can I staff it? Can I put some people here that can answer questions and get names?
Yeah, right.
So, and then I would pay the guys for how many names they brought back, every day. So we had 2 people that staffed it, and literally we were getting, the first year we got 1,000. And again, the ladies running the showcase would go, hey, way too aggressive. No hawking out there. I said, okay, we're not using bullhorns. It's okay. So, but we would get into arguments, whatever. But over the years, we got known and we got a great reputation. And I have to say that my son, both of them, Trent and Chad, just deliver an outstanding product. Outstanding. If somebody goes, hey, what about this? We never, ever get into a hassle with a customer. I won't say ever. Once in a while. Right. But 99.9% of the time, we just
get it done.
Right.
Yep.
You just fix it.
Yep.
Even though it's not on the contract, it wasn't there, they're being underhanded, whatever. You just do it. You just go, okay, we'll put in that extra area or whatever.
Right.
So we continued on that during the whole time while we're marketing, then just give an outstanding service and outstanding product that we deliver. So now I guess we're back to 2008. Right. And where we had to make the decision. And then we said, well, let's go into landscaping. Let's
do it all.
Let's be landscape contractors. So that's where we came up with the name. Instead of Pacific Paving Zone, is it going to be Pacific Paving Zone and Ponds and Landscape?
It's a mouthful.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're going to make it Pacific Outdoor Living. Pacific Outdoor Living, that's going to be the company. So created a new website, kept the old 2 websites. We had California website and Pacific Paving Zone website, created a new Pacific Outdoor Living website. Hired some guys, neither my son or I knew anything about landscaping. We knew about structures, we knew about building, we knew about hardscape. We could do anything paving zone. So then we proceeded to make every mistake in the book. And it was rough. I mean, we would have guys that come in, be our designer, go out, design the project, sell the project. We'd lose money on the project. Go out to another one, design it. They would estimate it. We didn't know how to estimate it. We didn't have crews for that. So rough years in
lots of learning experiences there, huh?
2009 were lots of learning experience.
What were some of those? Was it because it was just poor estimating, or what were some of the pitfalls that were causing you guys to struggle at the beginning? Or maybe it was just new.
Great question. Yeah, right? Well, and plus we didn't know what it was. And when you do, this is a tough business. Doing taking responsibility for somebody's backyard, doing everything. Yeah. All of a sudden we go, hey, we didn't calculate that we have to put in 7 steps to get to this other level. Right. In a retaining wall to hold it up. The designer, when he drew it
everything looks 2D.
Yeah, it's all flat.
Yeah.
So retaining wall steps all on us.
Yeah.
Because we missed it. And then going and then learning where we decide we're going to put a pool in this area, and then we go down to get building permits, and they go, hey, you're in the setback. What are setbacks? What are all the and there's
not anything you had to worry about when you're doing pavers, huh?
You just no permits.
Yeah.
It's just you just come in, your demo one day, install the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was a different animal, and we kept going. I don't know. Are we going? Should we do this? Is it the right direction or not? But in the honest opinion is that was the low hanging fruit at that time. We had less competition. If we're doing the complete
the whole thing,
right? If we're doing the design, because our customer, that's what they wanted.
Right.
They wanted one person to take us from.
Because otherwise you're losing business to somebody who's just going to do, oh, you need pavers too? Yeah, we'll throw that in rather than coming to look for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that kind of put us in a different area. My marketing costs, which we keep tabs of everything and what costs are and how it is, were way less to get that lead than it was to get a paving zone lead. And it's still that way today.
Yeah.
I can get a complete design lead cheaper than I can get a paving zone lead.
Wow.
Because during the downtime, right, what happened is we weren't the only person that was short of work, right?
Yep.
So all the landscapers who went paving zones, what are you kidding? I'm not going to do paving zones. Are now going, hey, I can put pavers in over there.
Yep.
Oh, sure, I know how to do that. No problem.
Yeah.
Then he goes down the building and says, how do you do
these?
YouTube.
YouTube.com.
How do you do this paver stuff? So now you had, in 2006 and 7, the 3 companies, Systems, Pacific Paving Zone, and Genesis, had about 50% of the market. So today, in 2010, 11, 12, we had 10% because now instead of them they're selling to a couple dozen contractors, they're selling pavers to hundreds of contractors, and the market's smaller.
Yep.
So anyhow, we worked out tons of issues, tons of problems, and we got it down. We actually can make a profit.
Figure out how to make some money doing it now,
We can make a profit putting in swimming pools. So we're going to probably this year, do 60, 70 swimming pools.
Wow.
And we're doing everything outside. And we're doing, some big projects.
Yeah.
And we're still not dealing with the ultra affluent. It's kind of what we refer to as the mass affluent.
Right.
the person that
Not doing the multi-billion-dollar homes or $20 million homes. You're just doing the
$1 million, $5 million home.
Which, I mean, $1 million in California is a $10 million home in other areas.
Yeah. So, or a $10,000 home.
Right.
Other.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that was backwards. Sorry, that was Is it all residential? Do you guys do any work commercial at all?
We do some commercial, very little.
Yeah.
We do a Marriott. We did a big Marriott recently. But pretty much our niche is in the residential area.
And where are you guys at now from a revenue standpoint? You said before the crash you were, what, 17 million?
We'll probably do 16 million in this year.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
In the COVID year.
Yeah.
We went back down to 10, and kind of worked our way back up. But
kind of on that, did you see any, I mean, I'm sure you saw that slowdown right at the beginning in March and when everybody kind of froze, but since then with people, I mean, I know personally we spent a ton of time outside, especially in April and May when we had to be at home all day. And I mean, we were doing Zoom calls outside in the backyard and all that kind of. Did you see an influx of incoming leads or during that time period?
People staring at their backyards.
People staring at that backyards, not being happy.
Well, first it dropped. Right. First it dropped, and then we laid off quite a few people. We just sort of
because LA shut down essentially for a bit.
We didn't know what we were going to do.
Right.
And thank God we're essential.
Right.
Now, landscaping is essential.
Yep.
Whatever. We're on the lucky end. How they determine that or not, but
don't worry about that. That's not our job, right?
That's not our job.
Yeah.
It kept us in business.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden the phone started ringing, and we continued to promote, during that time. Yep. And typically that's what we do when things go down. We spend more marketing dollars, not less dollars. That's the last thing we cut. A lot of people cut that.
That's the first thing.
Yeah. So we spent more marketing dollars. Phone starts ringing, and we're busy. In a year ago, we developed kind of a new sales system. It's top secret. Is this a top secret club?
Totally.
Our hundreds of listeners will,
Remember when it was tens though?
Yeah,
it was tens. You got up to 100.
We're definitely not Joe Rogan, but we're not. We're not Betty Sue cooking in the kitchen either. So we're somewhere in between.
Well, good. Anyhow, so we a year ago. So I typically run about 8 sales reps.
Okay.
8 to 10 sales reps. And we have guys that just sell pavers. Basically we still do that.
Because you can.
We have somebody who just sells small landscape. And then the rest of them are the full designers where we do the whole design work. And typically the typical market is you go out to somebody, they call you up and say, hey, can you come on over, send a designer over? Sure, no problem. So, Garrett, go on over, this is your schedule. So my designers were spending about 20 to 25 hours driving a week.
Yep.
Going from house to house and, doing the...
Tell me you're using drones and flying them over an hour doing something like that.
No.
Tell me.
No.
Come on.
It's a little different. It's not almost that.
Google Earth.
It's almost that. So then we went... I said, that's it, And I lost a couple of designers. A guy moved back east, and so...
Had to find a way to be a little bit more efficient.
I said, okay, we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is somebody calls in, I'm going to sell them what we call a site analysis. And, hey, when I bring these kind of stuff up in the company, everybody goes,
you're crazy.
You're crazy? What? Everybody gives away free designs. You're going to sell a site analysis? Yeah, $350. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send somebody out there, one of our guys, and he's going to measure the property. He's going to put it on CAD. He's going to take pictures. Then the customers come into our place. And we'll set up an appointment at that time. They can come in. We have a great showroom, a great...
Smart.
We got displays and whatever. So basically, we had to go through the rough period where, and I was, of course, doing the selling. When somebody would in, I'd have my phone, my two girls, and go, let's drill it, let's go through it, let's handle it. Just when somebody says, well, everybody comes out for free, why do you do that? Blah, 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 blah. So we developed our 5-step process and put it on the website and sent it to people. So
you're creating value there, right? I mean,
So now we sell 12 to 15 of those a week. And we have 12 to 15 couples coming in to our facility, to do after that. Then they come meet us, and then we do a rough layout of what it is, and we get what their budget is. So,
and I feel like the closing rate is probably much higher, right?
Huge.
If you're getting them to commit to come to you,
It just turned around completely. So but the next thing we do is we sell the full landscape design. So they pay $350 for a sign analysis. But before I sell them the design, we want to make sure we go, okay, so this is going to cost you, $125,000. Oh, $125,000. I was thinking of spending $25,000. Okay, well, aren't you glad we didn't design it?
Right.
You want a swimming pool or this or that or whatever. You're not going to get it for $25,000.
Here's the $125,000. Here's what you get for $20,000.
Yeah, or whatever. So then we go, hey, we can either work something out. That we'll design whatever you want. You want $25,000? We'll design something for $25,000. And usually they go, okay, just kidding. Yeah, I can pay $100 or whatever it might be. But we don't take the next step until we have an agreed upon budget. They still don't have to buy from us.
Right.
They can go to somebody else.
Right. Well, but we talk about it all the time in our business, right? You're qualifying them at that point, rather than just giving away your service for free to a million people and spending a bunch of time and effort and hoping that one of those fish catches and bites, right? You're pre-qualifying them and making sure that they fit everything and are committed to going down that process before you expend all your time, effort, and labor and hours and everything else.
100%.
Yeah. So I would imagine you're probably quoting, if you call that, less, but you're probably closing a lot more and being more efficient with your manpower 100%. At that point. Yeah.
So we actually qualify them twice. So we qualify them first by the 350.
Right, getting them to commit. Yeah.
A lot of people go, no, I'm going to, somebody else is going to come over for free. And then after that, when they come into the office, now we say, okay, to complete the design, it's $1,500.
Yeah.
And we're going to and then we show them an example of an awesome 3D rendering that we're going to do.
Yeah.
And they go, wow, honey,
right.
Because we do 3Ds with every design.
Right.
And people say,
but now you're not doing it for free. You're doing it because they're 90% committed at that point.
They're paying us another $1,500. So we're on to the next step. Yeah. Now we're doing that. And the quality of the 3D design is it's state of the art.
Yeah.
So, but now they get to walk through the yard and make the changes now instead of while we're under construction. Because people, when they're looking at a 2D drawing, and you go, well,
they can't walk through, they can't visualize it, they can't see it. Yeah,
Mrs. Jones, that line is a step,
right? Yeah.
That's a step. Yeah. Actually, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a step there. That's what a line means.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're not going to educate them. We'll just show them in 3D. When they go, I don't want a step.
Don't teach them how to read an architectural drawing. Just show them in 3D.
Yeah. Show them in 3D.
You're creating a dream, essentially. I mean,
And then they get to walk through it and they get to make the changes before, we go out there and go, what's that? Well, those lines that we're building the steps.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the latest process, the new process.
So that's something that obviously you're afforded to do because of your position in the market and what you've done in the past and your your position from an income standpoint, right? You can be choosy. Obviously, when people just start out, when you first, there's no way you would have gone through that process when you're just starting your brand new company saying, oh, I'm going to charge people. And you're right, because you're at the point where like, I'm going to take anything I can get and quote as much as I can because I need the business. I guess my question is in there. I'm coming up with a question at some point. What was that deciding factor that maybe one or two things that happened or thought processes to going to that type of system that you guys are at now, where you're being a little bit more selective?
Okay. Great question. So actually, my hand was kind of forced because, as I mentioned, I lost some designers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
You were being creative, yeah.
and typically, I mean, one guy would basically, if he could sell 50,000 a week, that was a good number for us. But now I needed that one guy to sell 100,000 a week. So we do about 300 to 350 every week. Just like every week we sell that amount. So I go, I got to double his sales. Well, number one, he can't drive because, and I go, well, wait, he spends half his time driving.
Right.
So if I could get him to spend half his time sitting in front of customers, then he should sell twice as much.
Right.
Oh, no, I can't do that. And the designer goes, what? You want me to sell 100,000 a week? Nobody does that. That's $5 million a year. Oh, there's no way I could do that. My hand's going to get tired drawing. I said, well, hey, dude, you use CAD. You don't even use a pencil. So we just set up, enough support people for the 3 designers that we had left. And then it actually went down to 2. But we do more now in that system with the 2 designers.
So you built systems around them to kind of support them and let them just do their thing.
They specialize in what they do. And we kind of build our company around that specialty thing, because all my crews that I have specialty demo crews, specialty paving zone crews, specialty irrigation and landscape crews, specialty masons. So we don't have a crew that does everything. They move in and move out.
What's your employee count out now?
So
from a labor standpoint,
we're about 90 people.
Wow.
In the company, 88, something like that.
That's awesome.
We have 50 guys, a little over 50 guys in the field.
Yep.
And then we have our,
maintenance
our sales
and yard and all those guys.
We have 3 full-time mechanics.
And are you still just LA and Orange County? Did you get into Ventura or San Diego at all? Or
we're still LA, not even
Orange County.
So we're looking for partners in Orange County. We basically have, this is my next idea. I can come up with them pretty easily. But basically, we have the sales technology. We have the system that we can work it out. And we would like to export that. But I'm not going to set up a yard in Orange County or in Ventura or in Santa Barbara or San Francisco. But I could sell in San Francisco. And we could figure out how we could do that and how we could service.
You would just need the labor materials partners.
I need I need a good contractor.
Yeah.
I need the good delivery end, basically, is how we could.
So with the end goal being absorbing them into your company and giving them your sales process, or selling them your sales process third party?
Whatever.
Open all of it, right? Yes.
Basically, at this point, it would be we would sell the job and take a cut off the top.
Yeah.
And
use them as a subcontractor almost.
They would
not have otherwise gotten.
Yeah, they would do the contract directly with the homeowner. But I can guarantee you, I could probably get more for their job, than they would have got anyhow.
Yeah.
And we got it. We have the plans done right that they can build from. How to get them through building and safety, that whole thing. So that's all, kind of one of the next things that we're working on. And we're actually doing some test marketing in Orange County to see
what kind of sales you can get.
What kind of sales we can get.
Wow. So before we kind of get wrapped up here, let's let you chat a little bit about this software that you guys got. What are you guys doing with that?
Okay. So, I mean, in fact, that could be a bigger business than Pacific Outdoor Living.
Right.
But unfortunately, I'm not a software developer, and that's really been a nightmare.
Yep.
I mean, the amount of money we spend on doing it and going.
Engineers and everything else, yeah.
I can design and.
Here's what I wanted to do. Can you make it do it?
Yeah. But he's going down this path or whatever.
Yeah.
But at any rate, basically what it does is, as I said, it's a completely different way of thinking about how to estimate. People don't estimate that way, and people don't do. They basically use unit price and they use markup percentage.
Yeah.
I put on my materials. I mark up my materials. And
guess at how many hours it's going to take.
And guess at how many hours it's going to take. And so you're going to get wrong answers when you do that. Both ways, you're going to get wrong answers. So basically what the software does is, without going into too much detail, it gives the contractor the right answers, how he should estimate it. And then the best part of it is, it's called the AIM system. Am I making any money?
That's awesome.
And we got that because we had contractors, basically, because we had a wholesale division, so we do seminars and stuff, and they go, how do you guys get so much business? So I do seminars, and I go, Cliff, how's it going? He goes, hey, I'm so busy. I have no idea if I'm making any money or not.
It's coming in and going out, but
I have no clue. And typically a contractor is going to open up his checkbook and go, honey, let's buy a new truck. Okay. And he buys a new truck, and then he gets his workers' comp bill.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my God.
Let's sell the truck.
Exactly. Honey, let's sell that truck. So basically what the software does, and we developed an in-house version that we use every day. So somewhere around 2013 is when it got into use. So I can have as many as 80 or 90 different work orders that are happening at one time. And I know if I made any money yesterday. I can totally
just in real time.
Real time. And I actually know if I'm going to make money today and if I'm going to make money tomorrow. So it's...
And obviously, I'm sure it'll tell you where the shortfalls are, right? Where you've lost.
And I can see where my holes are.
So you can adjust real time.
What I need to do. And then it gives me... because we estimate in estimated hours,
right.
And then I can use the actual hours, and we can create a game with the crews so that they can get a bonus, and they can log in on their phone. They log in on the job.
Hey, we're a little over. Let's step it up, and
yeah. And basically we set up a bonus plan and a bonus system that they can get a bonus
and they can see it in real time.
And typically what we found out is that a contractor loses about $25,000 per man per year in
just
not giving some incentive to your crew.
Right.
Just letting them go out there and be on their
unmanaged costs. Yeah.
Right. But if the owner's there, he'll make that 25. Right. But as soon as he leaves, unless he has a really good guy, they'll start to, and then, my God, if he gets 5 crews, that
exponential.
If he has 10 men, I can show him how to make about $250,000 more a year, because he's losing it. And whether he knows it or not.
Even if he's quote unquote making money, he's missing out on that money.
That's another. Yeah. And but you have to give 50 to your guys.
Right.
If you're losing 250, you give them 50. You keep 200. That's a good deal.
Still in the red,
and they're happy.
We're still in the black.
And it solves all kinds of problems, with employment, because the good guys are interested in working for production.
Yeah.
The guys that are, that you want to get rid of anyhow,
phase themselves out.
Are going to complain about this system as soon as you put it in. And go, because they just want the overtime hours.
Right.
So anyhow, that's something that hopefully within a couple of weeks, is going to be actually ready to be able
to sell.
Well, we'll be doing some
testing it, yeah.
We'll do beta testing, and then
Yeah.
at some point we're going to sell it.
Are you starting with just landscape companies that you guys are working with?
No, we can actually work. We set it up any kind of contractor,
That's awesome.
especially if somebody, we're going to leave. It's the system works for any type of contractor. The detailed estimates, of course, we
Right.
have only for landscaping and paving on the hardscape, but the system, the game, the putting the crews on the game will work for any kind of contractor.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get links for that, and we'll make sure we put them in here. And
Yeah.
it sounds like you'll probably be in beta testing right about when this drops anyway, so it'll be
Okay,
good.
good. Yeah.
Good test.
Yeah, we're actually starting beta testing now. So
Awesome.
we can add more guys.
Very cool, man.
Very cool.
Well, we appreciate the time, Terry. This has been awesome. It's been great.
Good.
This is it's been a good one. It's been fun.
Yeah.
But before we let you go, let the people know where to find you. How do they get a hold of you?
Okay.
Websites, phone numbers, emails, however.
All right. So it's Pacific Outdoor Living. My email's Terry@Pacific Outdoor Living. My cell number is 818.
You're brave.
Hey,
It's online anyways, right?
Yeah.
from the beginning of our business, 100%. It's on every email.
That's awesome.
I let anybody can have my number.
Yeah.
If a customer wants to reach me, they can reach us.
That's awesome.
Everybody in our business is accessible. So, so even if somebody complains,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
You handle it.
You fix it right there.
You just fix it.
Yeah.
So it is 818-429-9000. In the office is 818-244-4000. And I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't have a Twitter account.
No Instagram, no Twitter, no.
I should, I guess,
That's something we didn't talk about. We usually try and talk about as kind of digital marketing, but especially in the residential space, I would suggest looking into it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have some marketing guys that do that kind of
all
stuff.
that stuff.
you
Yeah.
know. And I'd go back to postcards, but
Well, look up JJ's Landscaping down in San Diego.
okay.
There's some buddies of ours. They went from a few 100,000 in 1 year to
300,000 to 4 million.
Yeah, well, in
but they
1
started
year.
doing Instagram and just doing crazy digital brand. Yeah. Brought in a quote unquote influencer that was in that space and just blew their business up. But
they're on Instagram
but
every
they do
day.
residential, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Especially the pretty stuff you guys do, man.
Yeah.
Let the people see it.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
Absolutely.
Have fun. Hire somebody though. It's a pain in the ass to do yourself. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Or get your third son to do it.
Yeah.
That's right. He's the marketing guy. That's what I can do. Put the third son in there. We got a name.
Yeah, I know. We got Trent and Chad. I don't know what we're going to do with this guy.
Ronald.
There you go. Perfect. Randy the random.
Randy. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Terry, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Yeah,
Stay safe out there.
Okay.
We'll see you down.
All right.
Cool.
Have a good one. Hey, thanks for listening. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a like or 5 stars or whatever means you like us.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. And check out our website for more video content and extras.
While you're there, shoot us a message if you want to be a guest. We'd love to have you on.